related news, a new all-star benefit single and home video have just been released for a song called Can We Go Higher? Organized by Nenad Bach, a Slavic musician now living in New York City. The video includes news footage of atrocities and suffering in Bosnia.
This is Rights and Wrongs. Human Rights Television.
As we consider the crisis in the former Yugoslavia, it would seem an unlikely place to inspire a musician to compose a song for peace. But Nenad Bach, a Croatian musician now living in the United States, believes that music has the power to move hearts that seem unaffected by the horror and human tragedy.
This is CBS.
Some prominent musicians are banding together to help the victims of the civil war in Bosnia and Croatia.
It's not unusual for rock musicians to try and raise awareness and money for a cause. Live Aid and We Are the World are famous examples. Now, add to that list the music of Bach. Not the Bach you're thinking of, but Nenad Bach.
One of the purposes of the video could be to support the UN peacekeeping role.
There are tens and hundreds of refugee camps now in Croatia with hundreds of thousands of child refugees there.
We can't wait for the government to act. They're turning papers and there are so many formulas and procedures. No, we can't wait for this. We have to act. How? I don't know. I'm doing something. I know that I'm doing something.
There's only one thing on my mind, how to stop the war.
Earlier tonight, you might have seen Street Stories and a special segment on the efforts of a Croatian-American musician to help the victims of the war in Bosnia and Croatia. Tonight, the video premiered on Sony's giant screen in Times Square while being simulcast on the radio.
One person in the music industry says the indifference of the industry unfortunately mirrors the indifference of the U.S. government in regards to this issue in former Yugoslavia. You agree with that?
Yes, I agree with it. By the way, this is not a war. This is a slaughter. This is a massacre.
And Nenad Bach is a musician from Croatia, and he was very moved by what's going on, so he decided to spearhead a project to raise awareness about what's going on in Croatia. It's called Can We Go Higher?
Dakle, da se napravi jedan pjesma, spot, i što da se s njime postigne?
Pa mislim da se kroz glazbu, glazba je kao jezik duše.
Veliki prijatelj naš specijalnog gosta, dobro nam došao uvijek u Rijeku u Hrvatsku, Nenade. Hvala ti, puno sreće. Bog.
The crisis in what was Yugoslavia has left millions homeless and dying. This project, Can We Go Higher, is a culmination of 2 years of effort, work on your part. Why are you doing this?
When you see children being killed by snipers, so as a target of the war, you have to do something.
What inspired you, first of all, to write this song?
Well, I believe that power of music is like power of love. It's undeniable when you strike right chords.
And to look at those pictures of the children that are also being wounded and killed there it's a disgrace to humanity.
It's unacceptable, and it's happening.
You had a double reason for recording this single.
I believe when you lose your mother, when you lose your father, when you lose your parents, you lose unconditional love, the only unconditional love in your life that you have.
Сегодня мистер Бах – гость нашей передачи.
Здравствуйте, Nenad.
Здравствуйте, Алена.
Croatian pop star Nenad Bach had recently completed a music video and tour of the United States in hopes of raising the American consciousness. Now he was serving as minstrel and Pied Piper for the multinational mission to the UN conference in Vienna.
Well, the war in the Balkans has touched us all, but few of us have been as deeply touched as Nenad Bach.
I always try to go to the source, to the well, no matter what I do. And since I wanted to play rock and roll, since I wanted to be part of rock and roll culture, I came to America because this is the birthplace of rock and roll. What moved me about lyrics that John Lennon wrote is that word imagine. And you have to imagine before it becomes the reality. I met a lot of dreamers in America, And that gives me hope that eventually we will live in peace.
Women who have been raped and children who have been sniped.
It's horrible what's happening. The raping of the women. I mean, it's not even
unacceptable. You know?
It's beyond horrendous. Anyhow, this man is a superstar in his world, and Nenad Bach has been kind enough to bring me the video that I saw elsewhere, and I said I want to see a sample on my show.
This is CNN.
But Mark Shearer reports the man behind the song, Can We Go Higher, had to fight his own uphill battle against apathy.
If we can save one life, it's worth. One child, it's worth.
Danny Schechter's company helped Bach find a major distributor for his benefit CD and video.
Before Bob Geldof organized Live Aid, no one ever heard of Bob Geldof. Nenad Bach is the Bob Geldof, if you will, of the war in Sarajevo.
Headline News, I'm David Goodnow. Pop stars and rock audiences on a charity song to aid survivors of the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
With a parent doing the videotaping and Croatian-born entertainer Nenad Bach providing some lyrics in his language, the school's Keiki chorus made a music video, which the Global Children's Organization will now take to the war-torn region to show on the TV outlet still operating.
One of the things that happens in a war, as I've learned, is isolation and a feeling of being cut off from the rest of the world and cut off from everybody, and that nobody remembers them. And a song tells them that people do remember them, do think about them, do care if these children live or die.
A Croatian-born rock star has been working hard using music to focus the world's attention on the victims of the war in his homeland. He's in Honolulu for a Sunday fundraiser to support summer camps for war orphans and refugee children in Bosnia-Herzegovina and Croatia.
1,000 candles in the air, one by one.
Hi, and welcome back to Entertainment Tonight. I'm Lisa Gibbons.
And I'm John Tesh. Stars from around the world united their voices to sing We Are the World. The project raised money to fight hunger in Africa. We begin then this weekend's international segment with a new song, this one written to help the children who are the victims of the devastating civil war in Yugoslavia.
1,000 candles in the air, one by one.
When pictures of war-torn Yugoslavia reached the West, millions were shocked. One rock singer from Croatia took those images of his country and turned them into a plea for peace. Nenad Bach called his song, Can We Go Higher, with good reason.
Can we go higher? That's the title, that's the whole message. Can we raise above all this hatred that we have?
With his music, Nenad hopes to raise money for victims of the war. He pulled together an all-star cast. Actors Martin Sheen, John Malkovich, and Michael York participated with the spoken word.
Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it.
For York, it was an important message to get out.
Nenad's song it's a song of hope, and above all, of peace. Peace not just in the Balkans, but world peace, which is that's well worth singing about.
Let us shout out peace again.
Nenad also called upon fellow musicians Richie Havens, the Indigo Girls, Rick Danko, and international artists to help sing the lyrics of his song. For Havens, it was a moving experience.
This is part of the new consciousness of trying to wake people up as to their other ways of doing things, like not killing each other.
Nenad came to New York over 7 years ago to pursue a musical career. He has put that on hold and now devotes all of his time, energy, and money to this project. And he says it was well worth it.
I'll get back to my career, and this is a priority. And when your country is burning, you have to react. You have to do something.
The music video and compact disc are on sale now, and Bach is in the planning stages for a lecture tour of college campuses and a benefit concert to help the cause.